Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. Thank you so much for being with us. The book of Acts, this is the Believer's Church Bible Commentary. We're just looking at the book of Acts today. This obviously comes in a set. It's done by Herald Press. Now, I'm not totally sure about Herald Press. You can look it up. Herald is in heart, the Herald, H-E-R-A-L-D, not Herald, H-A-R-L-D. For some reason, I was thinking Herald Press was Seventh-day Adventist, but I could be wrong about that. It's got Old and New Testament in here. We were just going to look at some of this dedicated to Mary for her unfailing love and encouragement. So here's kind of, I'll just show you a little bit of what's in here. We'll go how many pages it is, if there's room to write, is it large print, small print, as well as try to read a little bit and see if there's a theological bent. I did like this on the back where it says the key word in Acts is witness for Jesus Christ. From Jerusalem to the ends of the earth, God's Spirit anoints the church at Pentecost, leads believers in handling conflicts between converts old and new, and empowers Christians to overcome false beliefs and magic. So, I mean, that's pretty good stuff. Let me let you see. Yeah, it's got really good margins to kind of write in, especially at the bottom and the top. Not much in the gutter, some on the sides, and pretty decent print. It's not a real big book as far as size. It's paperback. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the old Westminster John Knox, William Barclay, the Daily Study Bible. That's always been one of my favorites. I know Barclay didn't believe in literal miracles, but he was really good on customs and things. So it is over 330 pages, 334 pages, and then has a little thing about the author, born in Yakima, Washington. So let's see here let's see what it says about Acts 2:38. Pentecost for the first century only. A larger issue than that of tongue speaking is whether the total Pentecostal experience was intended for first century believers only or has value for Christians of all times. Some would argue that it was intended to help the early church get started, but today it's not necessary. Especially as this so, some would point out, since we now have a written New Testament instead of oral traditions, scattered documents, and earlier Christians had, and that would be Church of Christ Christian Church, use that a lot. Against this view, the meaning of Peter's statement 2:29 that the promise of the Pentecostal outpouring was for later generations as well, and also for those afar off. I wonder if he meant 2:39 by that. Maybe he meant 2:29. Nor is there any indication, either in Acts or other parts of the New Testament, that the era of great spiritual experience was to come to an end before Christ's return. Furthermore, the lesson of church history is that each new dynamic movement starts with some kind of spiritual outpouring. Catholic renewal experiences like that of Francis of Assisi, the various branches of Protestant Reformation, the Anabaptist, Quakers, New Baptists known as Brethren, the Wesleyan and Baptist revivals, as well as the Pentecostal churches of our own century, these have all begun with new infillings of the Spirit. Many times early fervor is lost. So, I mean, that's good stuff too. It goes into tongue speaking today. Well, let's just see what it says. A new interest in the gifts of the Spirit, including tongues, has arisen. This happened especially in the Pentecostal movements emerging in the early years of the 20th century, and then the rise of the charismatic renewal in the second half of that century among traditional denominations. Those who highly value the gift of tongues and those who have little use for it both need to share understanding and acceptance of those churches where the gift of tongues is exercised. Fine Christians are at both extremes of the issue, as well as a good many others for whom it is a matter of indifference or something to be left to individual choice. Some may even claim to have the gift when they don't, matched by others quick to be unduly judgmental. What must be avoided is polarization. And it's got something, speaking in tongues, page 319, conversion and baptism in the Holy Spirit. Let's see here. In Acts, baptism in the Holy Spirit, whenever and however it occurs, is the initial experience of the Spirit and power in one's life, with the result that an individual is filled with the Holy Spirit and united with believers in fellowship. So then from time to time, those already so baptized need refilling, updating of the fullness. In a second view, the Spirit is present through the experience of conversion is available for the asking. But one must claim that baptism in the Spirit in order to receive the reality of the Spirit's presence. So, I mean, pretty interesting stuff. The wound that brings healing, join the righteous remnant. So, Harvest Festival and Sinai combined. That's really good stuff right there. So, very conservative. Seems to be kind of middle of the roader Bible commentary. It doesn't seem to be, it seems to be very practically theological, if I could put it that way, and not extraordinarily scholastic. And so there's a place for these type commentaries. This is by Fall. Believers Church Bible Commentary. You may want to check it out. It's christianbook.com, eBay, Amazon, so forth. Your local Christian bookstore. God bless. Talk with you later. Thanks for being here.